Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business, and I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, if you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you're a mechanic, you're a home builder, you're a home remodeler, you're a carpet cleaner, you're a dog trainer, you're a dog trainer, you're a dog trainer, you're a business consultant and you don't know how to do business consulting. If you're anybody on the planet and you want to increase your financial and time freedom, this is a show for you. We're interviewing today a client who's we've had the opportunity to work with this year, and I just am super excited to see the growth and the systemization occurring there. And again, if you want to verify that this person is not just a male model, we did not just bring him in because he's a beautiful man. No. This man actually owns his own business. It's called officialsynapse.com. That's the website, officialsynapse.com. You can verify he's a real person. And with that being said, Dr. Troy Squirrel, welcome to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you, Clay.
Okay, here's the deep dive interrogation. How did you first hear about us? How did that happen?
Well, it was on another podcast. I actually was, I'm a big Kim Clement guy. And so I actually was watching a podcast and they talked about this Mr. Clark. And then that's how I found you. And I reached out and the rest is history. It was a good fit. It was what I was looking for. So they called you a very influential man, and I can basically validate that you're very much a connector, and so it was a good prophecy. I'll say that.
It's so crazy. This is the first time anyone's ever heard about my business consulting through a prophecy. So Thank you, Kim Clement. Okay. So now, what we do and what Devin does to my right, she's a consultant and her job is to help wonderful clients like you to implement a proven system and to help you grow. And so I think what a lot of people do is they'll go to thrivetimeshow.com. They'll look on the testimonials, but I know this because I talk to people every day that do it. And they go to thrivetimeshow.com, they click on the testimonials and they look at the growth of, a company like Tip Top Canine, and they go, wow, you guys helped them to double their income. You helped them grow from 1 location to 10 locations in a very small period of time. It almost seems unbelievable. They see something like Tim Redmond saying he went from like 2 clients to somewhere between 5 and 20 clients, from 5 and 20 clients up to where he's got hundreds of clients. And they go, it's just, I don't know if it's possible. They see Ginny here and her husband Mike with their cute baby having 8 times growth. They're seeing the Colaws having 3 times growth. They're seeing Papa Gallo's having 8x growth. So I want to get into the nitty gritty of what we're doing to help you grow your business. So first off, step 1, with every client, we have to know your goals. I'm not asking you to share your goals publicly, but could you maybe share why that's important for you and for every entrepreneur listening to know your goals?
Well, you have to have something to shoot for, and it allows you to get an actionable plan together, and then each week what you need to do. And I'll share a couple of my goals. I mean, my big thing was that I was working a lot in my business, not having any time to work on my business, and so that's been one of the biggest shifts. I'm not even a year. We're just barely a year in working with you, and I've gone from seeing patients personally 5 days a week to only 2 days a week. I'm actually here on my temporary second place right now. I'm working remotely. I could never do that before. And so I'm working on my business more, which is very, very helpful when it comes to just improving hitting some of the other financial goals. So it's not all financial goals for me. I did want to pay off some debt from equipment and other things like that, and we've hit a lot of those goals just in year one. We're a little bit ahead of what I expected, actually.
So step one, folks, I know it helps to see a linear workflow. Devin, are you a visual person, or do you prefer just to keep things in a kind of a written form in your mind somewhere?
Oh, I'm a visual person. I need it written down on a piece of paper for me to look at.
So the workflow to me is a lot of times, consultants like yourself who work here, or clients, they say just seeing the workflow helps me a lot. So box one, you got to establish your revenue goals. Homework for everybody out there. You have to know your yearly revenue goals. All right. Then you have to know what are your total weekly gross revenue goals. What are your goals for the week? If you have a goal for the year, what are your goals for the week? I'll give you an example, kind of a fun story. Longtime client of mine, he came to one of our workshops. He walks up to me, true story. He says, I figured it out. I said, you figured it out? This is on like session 2 of day 1 of our workshop. He says, I figured it out. I said, what'd you figure out? He says, I'm going to do it. I said, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to lose the weight. We're not at a weight loss conference. I go, what? Not kidding. Saw the guy about 3 years later he's been a client the whole time, but most of our clients are not in Tulsa. So I hadn't seen the guy in 3 years. He's down like 90 pounds. And I said, how'd you do it? He said, I figured out my yearly goal. And I figured out my daily goal. So I made a to-do list of what I'm going to eat every day. And I just put it on there. And it was basically grilled chicken, broccoli for lunch. That's it every day. Grilled chicken, broccoli, lunch. And he said, I did that every single day since the conference, and I've lost almost 100 pounds. And I'm like, get out of here. So no matter what you're doing, you got to have those goals. The second thing you have to do in business is you have to know your break-even numbers. Now, Devin, you went to college.
Yes.
And, you studied a variety of things in college. When at college with the business classes, did they ever talk about the break-even point?
No.
Mind-boggling. And it's because typically a bureaucrat in a college, they don't have to break even. If they ever go over the budget, they just raise taxes or find some way to increase fees. And the students aren't actually paying for college. They're using loans that are provided by the federal government. So nobody's actually looking at a budget. But in a business, you have to know your break-even point. And again, Dr. Squirrel, I'm not trying to ask you personal questions about your break-even numbers, but do you know in your mind how many patients, I guess it's rhetorical. Do you know
Yes.
how many patients you need to break even?
Absolutely. We have the numbers established, and it's not just myself. So now we have a full clinic. So I know how much each individual doctor needs to have, each practitioner, and then the clinic as a whole, how much they need to be seeing, and then just the minimal amount of services. So we track all of that, the exact services and number of services that have to happen as well.
Now we can move on to the next box, defining how many hours per week you're willing to work. Now this is hilarious. Did you meet Austin yesterday?
I did.
Okay, so Austin was a guy who used to work in the same building as me. He and his wonderful wife and their 5 kids, they decided to basically move into the mountains and take a year to recalibrate and really figure out what God had in store for them. So they actually, as a family, which I think is incredible, they actually did it. A lot of people talk about it. They actually did it.
Yeah.
They moved to the mountains, really studied the Bible as a couple, really recalibrated. And he came back. He wants to come rejoin the team. And I have no problem with it. He left on good terms. And he and I share the same religious views. He and I both believe that the Bible is very clear. We should be resting on the 7th and working 6 days, rest on the 7th. You can find that in both Exodus and Genesis. God laid out that pattern, work 6 days, rest on the 7th. And he believes that the Sabbath is Saturday. So he never works on Saturday. And I remember that about him. But he goes, hey, I want to work 6 days a week. I don't want to work 4 or 5, but I want to work 6. But I do take off Saturday. I don't know if you remember that. And I said, I do remember that. So for him, he was very clear. I want to work 6 days, but I don't want to work on Saturday, because that was his particular, how he views the Sabbath based upon his interpretation of the Bible. Would love to get your thoughts on that. I think a lot of business owners say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then they're not.
Yeah.
But it's like, so we got one guy right now, one of my longtime clients and friends. He's at trade shows. He's doing, I think, 6 weekends in a row doing trade shows. And he also works 5 days a week, because he has a goal in his mind of how many customers he wants to get. And he wants to get those customers before April. So he's literally willing to work 7 days a week and go to these trade shows. But I think a lot of people say, I'll do whatever it takes. They're quoting Imagine Dragons, and then they're not. So I'd love to get your reaction to that.
No, that's that was like a mindset shift that had to occur too. And it is funny how mental that is. And a lot of times you get into business and you think you're doing it to retire. And when you kind of get rid of the word retire, and you just kind of you work, and it's something you're passionate about. It actually doesn't even feel like work. And so yeah, I'm on board with that. And I one other thing, I started getting up earlier because I've gone to your 2 days. I haven't missed a 2 days since I've started with you. So I come down for all the 2 days because I hear something new each and every time. And I a lot of it had to do with the schedule too. So getting up earlier, and I'm not quite as insane as you as far as how early you get up and what you do, but I'm pretty close. I'm getting there.
Well,
And so that was a big shift. It was a mental shift, and things, just efficiencies started improving. Like just everything started to get better, and that's how I got freed up. Was by basically working more days and getting more organized, becoming more efficient. And then our capacity we're just primed to just explode right now. And our capacity is because of the extra work hours.
have you listened to my interview with Rabbi Daniel Lapin? Have you heard that one?
I haven't.
Oh, bro, I'm going to put it on part 2 of today's show. This interview is sick. And the only part you won't like about it, folks, is what I say. But this guy, he's a rabbi. And how our conversation started was I had a lot of friends of mine who were wealthy Jewish people. And I kept asking my Jewish friends, I'm going, why are you guys so rich? What's going on? What's the move? I was 25 years old. And a friend of mine, he says, wealthy guy, he's in his like 50s. He says to me, well, you know, if we're in a foot race, we're running 15% more than you. I said, what do you mean? He said, we all work 6 days a week. And I said, oh, what? And he said, also the word work in Hebrew means worship. So worship means work and work means worship. So we don't work for the customers. We don't work for the profit. We work as though we worship. So like that is our form of worship. You might do praise and worship. We view work as worship. Also, the word vocation means calling, and the word vacation means to retreat from. So we actually view retirement as an abomination. I said, an abomination you do, huh? And he said, we view retirement as an abomination. Like in the same way you might view fornicating, we view retirement. We actually view the idea of retiring as a sin. And I'm going, get out of here. So it helped me a lot to understand that mindset of working as unto the Lord. Just powerful. I'll put it on part 2 of today's show. I promise, folks, it's going to blow your minds. So we go back here to this system here. Now, box number 4. Devin, you work with a lot of great clients. A lot of clients don't know their unique value proposition. And so we always tell people, you got to figure out your top 3 competitors. You got to mystery shop your top competitors. But at officialsynapse.com, Dr. Squirrel, he already knows his unique value proposition and already knew that before he met us. How rare is that, Devin, that the client actually already knows? In his case, it's more of a holistic form of medicine. They treat the cause. They don't try to just push a pill for the ill. They don't try to get people on big pharma. They try to get people off big pharma. How rare is it for somebody to actually have their unique value proposition figured out?
It's very rare. It's probably like 1 in 10.
Yeah, and what I find is a lot of plumbers, doctors, dentists, lawyers, they'll say things like, well, we're the best. Like, okay, so you're the best tile guy. Okay. So that would imply the other guy's the worst, right? Like, well, absolutely. You know, and that's the kind of the mindset. So we'll work with you on that, folks, if you feel stuck. The branding, again, you're a unique guy because you already had a lot of your branding nailed down before we met you. With most of our clients, like when we've worked with Tip Top Canine, we had to completely renovate everything. I mean, we had to do the logo, the auto wrap, the print pieces, the unique value proposition, the offer of the $1 first lesson, the polos, the one sheets. I mean, we had to renovate the entire system, which was incredible. When you think about another client like Redmond Growth, when I met with Tim, this is an interesting thing because you're in Minnesota, we couldn't do this, but for Tim, we gave him free office space. He officed in our building for free. He was a business consultant, but didn't have a unique value proposition. So we actually had to teach him how to consult, how to grow companies. We had to provide the unique value proposition. We made his logo. We made his website. We did all of his print pieces. I mean, we went through a massive laundry list, very unique, though, that someone already has their branding nailed down. Devin, how unique is it that a client, because you work with a lot of clients, that the client already has the branding nailed down?
It's very unique. And it's great because when Troy and I first started, we were like, right from the go, like getting the systems, working on that. Yeah. So it was like 100 miles per hour, like from the first call. So
Now
it's great.
Now, the three-legged marketing stool, this is the 3 moves that you need to use to acquire customers. Now, for every client we work with, there's a different 3-legged marketing stool. As an example, we'll go back to Redmond Growth. Redmond Growth in America today, if you want to get depressed, folks, go to usdebtclock.org. It's a great way to get depressed. Go to usdebtclock.org. We have 9 million self-employed people in America, when there's 330 million Americans that we know of. So you have 3% of the American population is self-employed. 3% of the American population is self-employed. And according to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses will fail in the first 10 years. So you have, again, 3% of the population is self-employed, but only 4% of that 3% actually build a successful company ever. So it's a very rare thing that people are successful by default. So when we worked with Tim Redmond, I had to help Tim. I said, Tim, we got to contact business owners and we need to cold call them. So I helped him get a list from a company called Data Axle and others. You pull a list of the contractors, doctors, dentists, lawyers. You got to call them. Then once you call them, I had to help Tim write a script of what to say. So the cold calling was 1/3 of the business. The next third of the business was he could invite his clients to one of my in-person workshops. So if I had people that came to my workshop and we were booked out, I could refer people to Tim. So we had the workshops going on. We had the calls. And then I helped Tim learn how to turn his speaking events. He speaks publicly into leads. And so that was his 3-legged marketing stool. For your business, you have a 3-legged marketing stool as well. We got to get Google reviews. We got to get Google reviews. We got to get those Google reviews from happy customers. Yeah. Second is we got to make sure you're getting on podcasts where people can hear your voice. Very important that we do that. And there's other things we do too. But third, it's the internal marketing, making sure that your customers and patients know about the services you offer. How can you talk about the mind freedom that gives you as a business owner, as a doctor, knowing that you have 3 primary marketing systems that you need to, 3 figurative spinning plates that you need to keep going and not 53?
This actually is what probably, other than the entirety of seeing the layout and knowing that you've figured it out. I just have to do the work. So this area with the marketing, this was a big deal for us because we kind of had all of our eggs in one basket, if you will. So if something happened with that basket, then we're stuck. Whereas now we have complete peace of mind because we have different funnels and different people are coming in from different areas. We're able to impact people from all over the country, and we have multiple different systems in place: the podcast, the internal marketing, and a lot of we never got Google people from Google, and now we're getting consistently weekly people from Google. So a lot of what you talk about when it comes to the marketing stuff, that was actually foreign to me. So we were pretty set up with branding and other stuff like that, but that was. Yeah. Boy, I was learning on the fly there, and boy, has it ever impacted us, because our numbers are significantly changed just in less than a year when it comes to just where our patients are coming from and our clientele, and that's, for me, that's like one of the biggest. I'm just happy because there is peace of mind about and not worry about where are we going to get our next client or customer. We've got multiple funnels. It's great.
And I'm taking notes as you're talking, so I'm making sure I'm not misquoting you. But I think you just said, we never got leads from Google. Now we are getting a ton of leads from Google. I think that's encouraging for somebody out there who doesn't know how to generate leads, if you're in the medical field or doctor, dentist, lawyer. And then I think you'd also said that we were barely with you a year. And how would you describe the transformation over that year?
So this, in 1 month, it'll be a year. So we're basically 11 months. And so the transformation has been, I have the clinic itself really depended on me. Like if I got sick and I went down, we'd probably lose 50% to 60% of our revenue. And that's not good, because that means the business was about me. Right now, if I went down, the practice would probably improve. And so because we've got a team of doctors, we've got systems in place, and so we've got a lot of processes, and they understand it now. We're working on scripts and all those things because we keep identifying areas that we can improve on. And so now they get it. They understand the process and the flow. They're just getting to the point of doing it. And even with that, just having a great team, but also having people waiting in the wings to step up because now they want to be a part of this team.
And
So
I just
we've
want to
got
be
just a great system.
I just want to be very clear. Again, I'm repeating this because I think somebody needs to hear this. You know, you've barely been a client for a year, and you're saying we never got leads from Google. Now we're getting tons of leads from Google. The clinic used to depend on you, and now we have a team of doctors and systems in place. I just encourage everybody out there.
Yeah.
You can do it. Don't be stuck. Okay, now back to box 7. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, print emails, lead trackers. Box 8, we got to figure out your sustainable customer acquisition costs. We got to figure out what does it cost to get a new customer. 9, you got to create these core repeatable actionable processes. I call it crap. Core repeatable actionable processes. These repeatable actionable processes. I don't want to deal with all the detail crap. I'm more of a vision guy. No, you're a broke guy if you don't have systems in place. Well, I don't like to focus on the crap. I focus on the main idea. No. You got to master the crap, the core repeatable actionable processes. You got to chop wood, master the art of chopping wood, hauling water, get good at the basics. Box 10, managing people. People? I want my people to work remotely and manage themselves. No, people cannot work remotely and manage themselves. Even huge companies like X, which I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk, but you got X. I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk because he's the one who created the mRNA technology and CureVac, which is putting all the shots. Not a big fan of that. But even people like Elon Musk have found that when they lay off huge amounts of people that work from home, it doesn't impact the company at all because they didn't do anything. You're seeing Bank of America now is threatening employees with, you have to come to work. We're not going to work here anymore. Well, yeah, because the people that work from home do nothing. Why? Because people are wearing sweatpants till 2 p.m. Okay, 11, you got to create a sustainable and repetitive weekly schedule. 12, you got to create a human resources and recruitment system. 13, you got to nail down your accounting. You got to automate the earning of millions. You can't just make a lot. You got to keep a lot. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And Devin, you get a chance to work with Dr. Squirrel every week. How would you describe what it's been like to work with this man?
He's great. He's always, answers every call, and the tracking sheet's always filled out. He does a great job, and I'm super glad that we work together.
So I got to ask you this here. Final thought here. For anybody out there, Dr. Squirrel, if they go to thrivetimeshow.com, we say it all the time. I've been saying it for years. We always do a free 13-point assessment. We do a business workshop every 2 months. What would you say to anybody out there that is watching right now, who's thinking about becoming a client, who's pondering the idea? What say you, sir?
Just do it and be all in. If you're going to do it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to listen and apply the knowledge. And so it's all right there. And it's kind of like the Bible. I read the Bible as well. And when I read the Bible, I'll learn something new every time. There's always a gem. Every 2-day I've gone to, and I can't remember how many you've had since maybe 4 or 5, but every 2-day, there's something new I hear from you or from one of your clients about stuff that they struggled with. And then here's a solution. So it's just, it's just a good decision to get organized and improve just how your business is operating. But when you're walking with people who are like-minded and focused, and you just perform better. So many businesses I know are struggling, and people are struggling to get it right. I just encourage people to take the leap and then just be all in. Just be all in.
Now, right now, I got to have a documentation here. I believe that you are up 114% growth in leads. The lead flow is up 114%. Is that accurate or is that hyperbole?
That is accurate and exciting.
That's incredible stuff. So my closing thoughts would be this. Folks, to my right is Devin. If you decide to work with our consulting program, because I don't work with 7 clients, I work with 160 clients. The only way to do that without cloning myself, which I don't think is ethical, but Elon Musk is into that sort of technology. So back to Elon Musk. But no, seriously, if you want to work with our team, you'll be working with happy people like Devin, and her job is to guide you down the proven path. And then my job is to create that path. And so it all starts with a 13-point assessment, a brief assessment of where you are versus where you want to be, kind of a look in the mirror, kind of a checkup from the neck up, to look at your business, look at your plan, look where you're going, and to design a customized plan that will get you from where you are to where you want to be. Dr. Troy Squirrel, I'll give you the final word, sir.
Yeah, it's been just a pleasure working with Devin and you, Clay. And one of the reasons why, and Devin, I've never shared this with you, but I like working with you because if you help me duplicate my business, I know Clay's doing what he needed to do, right? So what's happening with you at Thrivetime is exactly what I wanted with my business, and it's happening. And so right out of the gates, Devin was just super helpful with making changes on the fly. I'd never been in a meeting where we actually did what we were talking about in the meeting. and it was
Right.
done before the meeting was done.
Oh, I do
mean,
that all the time. If anybody,
I know you do.
you got to come at some point to one of our Monday morning meetings and watch me do it, because like I will
Yes.
stop the meeting. If someone's like, we need to fix this on the website, I'll say, let's stop and do it now. Or if someone's, hey, I didn't get a chance to upload my video testimonial, but I'll do it after the meeting. I'm like, no, let's just stop the meeting and do it now. So I usually start and stop my meetings about 4 to 5 times per meeting, and it gets it done.
I can't tell you how much of a game changer it is to work with people who do that, though, because it was instant results. And so it's just like, it's gratifying as a business owner, instead of, just doing a checkup, follow-up constantly, week in, week out with this long list. You've got people just doing it right on the spot there. It was awesome to work with.
You are the best. Thank you again, folks. That's officialsynapse.com. That's the website if you're looking for a doctor in all 50 states that actually will treat the cause of the problem and not try to push a pill for every ill. Check out officialsynapse.com. That's officialsynapse.com. Take care, sir. Have a great day.
Thanks. You guys too.
Hi, my name is Josh Squirrel from Squirrel & Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I met Clay at his conference in Tulsa in June of 2018. Started working with the coaching program shortly after there. The experience has been great. You really have a partner in the grind. Most people, I like to say most people are wrong about most things about business most of the time. And it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to connect with other entrepreneurs who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to business. But Clay and his team really does understand. The tangible improvements that we've seen is we're up over 50% since starting with the coaching program, and they're helping to help business owners create time freedom and financial freedom. And I know what you're going to think. You're going to say, what the heck are you going to do with your time freedom and financial freedom when you're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada? That's the most northerly city in North America with 1 million people. We're probably just sitting in our igloos hoping for some television, but I'll give you an idea of what we're doing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So over here we have Sandra and we have Emma. Emma, say hello.
Hi everybody, this is my daddy's channel.
Emma really likes any video. So let's see what actually the time freedom and financial freedom can do for you in Edmonton. So believe it or not, we have a beach here, guys. And I'll take you on the little tour of Edmonton's beach. Now it's not what you Americans are going to think of as a beach. This is a northern beach. Got a really cool slide here. I don't know if you can see this purple slide. This purple slide that you're looking at here is a full loop-to-loop. It knocks you completely upside down when you go to it. See if I can get the right angle here. That does not appear physically possible, but it really is going to knock you upside down. Went on it last time, and here is the Edmonton beach. This is a northern beach. You guys out in Tulsa, you Americans think you have all the beaches here, but here is the northern beach, complete with waves. We got 30-degree weather inside here. Oh, sorry, 30. That's 90 for you guys over there. I gotta do the translation, the map in my head. And we even got a zip line that we can ride down here. And this is what we're doing with our time freedom and financial freedom in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks to the Thrivetime team. Thanks very much, guys.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whoa. During the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, 2024. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. Yes, folks, put it in your calendar. This December, the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business growth workshop. Whoa. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to learn branding, you want to learn marketing, you want to learn search engine optimization, you want to learn social media marketing, that's what we teach at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop. If you want to learn accounting, you want to learn sales systems, you want to learn how to build a linear workflow, you want to learn how to franchise your business, that is what we teach at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop. You know, over the years, we've had the opportunity to feature Michael Levine, the PR consultant of choice for Nike, for Prince, for Michael Jackson. We've had the top PR consultant in the history of the planet has spoken at the Thrivetime Show workshops. We've had Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, a company that creates apparel worn by celebrities all throughout the world. Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, has spoken at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshops. We have the man who's responsible for turning around Harley Davidson, a man by the name of Ken Schmidt. He has spoken at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops. Folks, I'm telling you, these events are going to teach you what you need to know to start and grow a successful business. And the way we price the events, the way we do these events, is you can pay $250 for a ticket or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, we've designed these events to be affordable for you, and we want to see you live and in person at the 2-day interactive December 5th and 6th Thrivetime Show Business Workshop. Everything that you need to succeed will be taught at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Workshop, December 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the way we do these events is we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a question and answer session so that wonderful people like you can have your questions answered. Yes, we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a 15-minute question and answer session. It's interactive. It's 2 days. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been doing these events since 2005, and I'm telling you, folks, it's going to blow your mind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop is America's highest rated and most reviewed business workshop. See the thousands of video testimonials from real people just like you who've been able to build multi-million-dollar companies. Watch those testimonials today at thrivetimeshow.com. Simply by clicking on the testimonials button right there at thrivetimeshow.com, you're going to see thousands of people just like you who've been able to go from just surviving to thriving. Whoa. Each and every day, we're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup, but I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And someone says, Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrivetime Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man. And there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's
All
a guy by
right.
the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, "Have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad?" And I said, "No." And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed, to the business owner, to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you, thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you, thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, "I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this."
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa.